Hey, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Major Push Wrestling, the talk show where we give wrestling the major push that it deserves. I am your host, as always, Gino, and today, episode 25, the big milestone number here. I'm so grateful to everybody who has tuned in over these past couple of months and or years. If you saw the original content I used to put out for Major Push Wrestling before going on my hiatus. But today, I want to talk about the new era of wrestling. Okay. So there's a few things we're going to get into, but number one, and most importantly, it seems like every other month or every other week, Triple H is claiming that this is a new era, right? So that comes with some expectations. I know I've talked about this a little bit in previous videos, but I'm really going to elaborate on it here. If it's your first time here watching, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. And if you're a longtime viewer, thank you so much as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's fun and it's free. So, Triple H is talking about pretty constantly entering new eras. Now, from a fan standpoint, you could argue that new eras come when they switch the location of the shows like Netflix, ESPN, things like that. The Netflix era, the ESPN era. I don't would never call it the ESPN era because I use a VPN and continue with my Netflix subscription accordingly. That is what I would recommend. There's a very, very minimal crossover between people who enjoy non-scripted competitive sports, which is what ESPN is 99.9% made out of, and those who like professional wrestling. So you're basically paying $30 a month per premium live event, not including Saturday night's main event. And I'm going to get to Saturday night's main event later on in the video. I wanted to make an entire video on Saturday night's main event, but I will address it here for you guys. So you're paying $30. We're basically back to the pay-per-view model where you pay $30 because I don't know how many people are re-watching the premium live events. If you are, that's great. For me, it's a one and done situation. So paying the extra $3, $5, whatever for the VPN and not having to pay any extra for Netflix helps me get Raw, SmackDown, and the premium live events, except for Saturday night's main event. But I have Peacock because there's great content on Peacock that isn't WWE related, and there is enough crossover to where it's worth having that if you're a WWE fan or if you're a fan of, say, things like reality television, like my girlfriend is, and the traders, like I am. So there's a value there. So I don't see myself getting rid of that. Now, rumor is you can go to cancel your Peacock subscription and they'll offer it to you for like $2 a month instead to stay. So that might be something worth looking into, guys. Go check that out after this video. Anyway, so I will address Saturday night's main event right now in the new era. So they've recently, as of the last couple of years, added in Saturday night's main events. They're they used to be on NBC, which made sense, and you get more eyes on the product. And there's a justification for having it on a different platform like Peacock, because Peacock is owned by NBC Universal. But originally, it was only like 2 hours hard line cut. Like Goldberg's retirement suffered from that. Other events, like the one with Cena and Tampa, has kind of suffered from that, especially when they had the injury to Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green match. So now and then people weren't considering it a premium live event because it was more of like a weekly show or televised show once a quarter, however you want to look at it. But now they have overrun. Now they go longer than 2 hours. It's only on Peacock. So for me, that is a premium live event. So the new era of WWE watching is having a bunch of different subscription services just to follow the content week to week. On top of that, we've got 3 hours of SmackDown, 3 hours of Raw, well, 2.5, but with the commercials, it's like 3 hours. Now you can wait and not watch it live and fast forward through certain things and whatever, or kind of delay and then fast forward until you catch up, or watch the stuff on YouTube. So we have other options for those that don't want to be paying all of that. But they're asking their base to pay all of this extra money for these services. And Saturday Night Main Events kind of derail their premium live events, like the true big pay-per-view, former pay-per-view events. Royal Rumble was a week after Saturday Night's Main Event. Like, how dumb is that? Did they counter program it against AEW? Because it seems like that's what Saturday Night's Main Events has kind of been used for, other than WrestlePalooza, which is the ESPN inaugural premium live event. But that's a whole other issue. There's just too many Saturday Night Main Events, and they don't feel important enough. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for a tight 2 hour wrestling heavy show if the storylines dictate it. But these things are taking away from things like the Royal Rumble, from things like WrestlePalooza, from things like Survivor Series, and all of those types of things. Don't even get me started on how they don't like Survivor Series style matches anymore, because that means, theoretically, at least 5 of your top stars who are in that match have to take a pin. And we know WWE doesn't want any of their stars taking pins anymore, which is why they're making triple threat qualifier matches for Elimination Chamber. They're not letting people in these events if they're not going to win them, things like that. Now, from a certain standpoint, that is smart. Like, you don't want to set somebody up that you know is going to lose and it might hurt them. But losing a Survivor Series match 5-on-5 isn't going to ruin somebody. And just don't put them in the match. But like having like War Games, only one person takes the fall. So they love that. You get your big stars showcased, but then only one person has to eat the fall. So they love that. That's like tailor made for the new WWE and the TKO run organization. And Triple H to some degree. I don't hate on him as much as the internet does. I hate on TKO for allowing what is happening to happen and these stretching out of storylines. But then they're condensing it so that we had basically no build for the Royal Rumble and then no surprises. So at least if you're not going to have that many surprises, I mean, I'll argue that there were surprises, but overall, the internet wrestling community and a lot of people I talk to are saying that there wasn't surprises for the Royal Rumble. Whatever, we'll go with that. But there was also no build, or like minimal build, or they were doing this. So they've got these masked man gimmicks now. They've got things where they're stretching things out almost to the point of it ripping in half. We only have one WrestleMania match set right now, but we have a whole other pay-per-view to get through first, premium live event, however you want to address it, guys. And at this point, it's filler, because is Finn Balor really going to beat CM Punk and then make the main event of WrestleMania Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns? Finn Balor's not CM Punk. No disrespect to Finn Balor, but he's not CM Punk. And he's not CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. So obviously CM Punk's going to win that match. And it's just frustrating a little bit. So we've got Saturday night's main events kind of taking away and taking the storylines away from certain bigger premium live events. And then we've got the stretching out of storyline. What's it going to be? Tune in to find out. Like, and there's some level of storytelling and television storytelling in that, for sure. Tune in next week. But we have multiple shows, especially on Netflix Raw, Netflix SmackDown, whatever. They're also on cable television in the US, so they have more time constraints. Fine. But Netflix Raw, you shouldn't be going off of the air while people are still fighting in the arena. Like the War Games build up. Like everybody's coming out, they're all fighting, and then all of a sudden cut off the air. Did I see that on the rest of it on YouTube? I didn't. I didn't really seek it out, but like it was frustrating. I wasn't tuning in next week or tuning into the War Games to see the conclusion of their battle. Like I was tuning into War Games Survivor Series to watch the match in general. Like you have these long, drawn out shows, and then you end on something that people actually want to watch. Like the Attitude Era would never do that. Now they ended on some cliffhanger stuff and things, but they wouldn't give you a bunch of filler and then tell you, well, come back because your main course is going to be half now, half next week. Like there is always I'm going to fight you next week, or we're going to have a match next week to build up the next. Okay, fine. But going off of the air when you literally have no time constraints because you're a Netflix live event and you could go until the cows come home, it's kind of frustrating. And it speaks to the larger issue of they're like trying to stretch things out to the detriment of their story. And then they think that they've got things like long-term storytelling by having something happen and then These characters disappear from TV. Like Brock Lesnar destroyed John Cena, only came back for Survivor Series, isn't coming back for the Royal Rumble. Doesn't make sense. We're probably gonna have him at WrestleMania because he was in the freaking promo for it in like November, which then spoils everything. Or it was in October. Like, tell me what the main event of WrestleMania is going to be. You have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. So we have two of those four are already in a match in the main event. So like all of these types of things kind of play into the fact that like they're not making good booking choices and they're trying to make good business choices by overcharging for ticket prices. There are two ways to make money in business. One, you can overcharge the people who are your customers, or you can give your customers a reason to have new customers come in with lower price stuff. That's just how it goes. You make your product good enough, then you can charge all these outrageous prices, but they're sacrificing their product to draw it out, to draw it out. They're even doing a blackout in Chicago, so people have to go to Elimination Chamber. Like, what's the point of going to Elimination Chamber to watch it? The ticket prices are ridiculous. Period. Plus, if I have a VPN, I'm watching it even if I live in Chicago. So what are we really doing here? We even had Stephanie McMahon have an advertisement for a VPN on her podcast. So, like, it's not like VPNs are like this hidden gem secret thing. One or two times I was watching Netflix where I had the VPN where there was an issue where it was like, we detected a VPN, blah, 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 and they stopped allowing me to watch it. At that point, I just go on the high seas. I know you guys do too. So if you're not giving us a reason to watch 9 hours of product every single week, I'm probably skipping some of the content. The stuff and everybody else is too. You're going to watch the 3-minute match highlight of a 25-minute match on YouTube because that's going to give you all the stuff that you need and all the information that you need. So we have 1 week build up to the Royal Rumble. They didn't even talk about the Royal Rumble until after Saturday night's main event. And then now we've got Elimination Chamber coming out in 10 days. And then WrestleMania is not in March. It's in April, mid to late April. So I'm assuming there's going to be another Saturday night's main event in there. But now you're going to have way too long to build to this, which means we're going to get drawn out things and stretched out stuff and filler. And it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong. They are doing a lot of great stuff for sure. What they're doing with Drew McIntyre, they had him on multiple segments on a SmackDown. That's how you just have your big stars be on multiple segments so I have a reason to stay tuned in. That was what they did the other week on SmackDown where Drew came out, got interrupted, came out again, got interrupted, and then finally was able to save his piece. That is exactly what I want to see. That type of stuff from your top stars. I don't want to see your top stars getting taken out by no names like Dragon Lee and not being able to qualify for Elimination Chamber. I don't want to see your top stars like disappear and not have a meaningful reason or logical reason to be doing what they're doing. WWE and their new era and the era that we're in, and the biggest issue that you'll see anywhere is the lack of ability. And it's not even a lack of ability. It's a lack of trying to build new stars. The four biggest future of wrestling stars in the WWE right now are Dominic Mysterio and Braun Breaker. That's going to be on everybody's list. Obafemi now, if that's not on your list, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, he kind of is coming across a little one note right now, but that's WWE's booking of it. And any star is going to need to have a decent booking to be considered that way. And you might look at a Javon Evans or whatever, but for me, it's Trick Williams. Trick Williams is even though I like Obafemi, and I want to see him destroy things and be that big monster tweener character. Trick Williams, he's got all the tools. He comes out like a freaking NFL diva wide receiver in the best way possible. Like, you love to hate him, but you can't look away. He's got the flashiness. He's got the mic skills. He's got in-ring capabilities, right? Like, you don't build stars through in-ring talent. I mean, you can't be a slouch in the ring either. But, hey, people like to crap on Goldberg for his inability to wrestle, and he was one of the biggest stars of all time. Say what you want about him. Come at me. I'm right here in the comment section. and we can have a discussion, because that's the beautiful thing about wrestling is it's not as clear cut and dry as other things, other sports and things like that. So you've got this thing where they literally don't have any matches that they can put together that are main event quality for WrestleMania without people who have already been involved with each other. CM Punk and Roman Reigns been involved with each other. Had a match last year at WrestleMania. Yeah, Seth was there. And if Seth was healthy, yeah, then we would have it against Braun. Okay, cool. But I know Braun is injured and Dom was injured and stuff, but they've lost a lot of steam because WWE refused to pull the trigger on these characters when you strike when the iron's hot. Dom's still a heel. People want to cheer this person. You can make him do dastardly things like Eddie Guerrero and just let us cheer him. But no, you want to continue to have him be like this tweener bad guy, but he's not. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And Braun Breaker, like, you don't like if you have to wear the word badass on your clothing, I don't think that you're a badass. I'm sorry. Just show me that you're a badass. Oba Femi came out to the Royal Rumble with a freaking necklace that looked like Dunkin' Donuts munchkins. And he's still more badass than Braun Breaker. I don't understand the thought process behind all of these decision makings. And I really hope that they start to get their act together, because the new era I want to see is proper, intelligent booking and less filler and more streamlined entertainment, period. So thank you so much, everybody who is watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video with a wrestling friend of yours, and let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with what I've said, if you disagree with what I've said. I will see you guys all next week, Wednesday at 7. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.